Cups of rose, it's Drake. Bitches in my phone, let's go. I've been drinking so much, I ain't loving anyone says.
Ooh, let's see, I got my hoodie half on, glasses are on. Let's the headphones, you see it, you see it. I got my lamp light. Yeah, look guys, it's time for another interview. And I'm here with a very important person. He's been all over the place now, alright? Old Oceans, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm oldoceans. I'm an artist, musician, producer, rapper, singer, whatever, mixer, from the UK. I'm 16 years old, and yeah, I write and make music.
Y'all heard it here first, y'all. Now, let's get into the juicy stuff, okay? What's your origin? What made you start doing music, and how did you find yourself here in the underground?
Alright, well, I got FL in 2020 sometime. I was missed about a Discord server. I started, like most people start just seeing what you can make and what you can do. But originally I was not making the underground type shit like now. I was making if you know old sweatshirt, that sort of way. But gradually I just evolved on site. I met new people off that, and a couple of these people were still underground and sort of started making that sort of music by myself. First part of 2021, I wasn't really getting too many plays, but I was making that sort of music. And in around mid 2021, I sort of started getting a couple more plays. My music started taking off a bit more. I started mixing more songs with people, and I met people like Blood Eyes and. Those people who really put me on, so I was mixing songs. They were a lot bigger than me in terms of plays and stuff. And then I met the collectors that I'm a part of now in sort of August 2021, BPG and REP, those guys, who are still my friends now. Are still really, still the new people that I make music with, and it sort of just kept progressing past 2021 into 2022. And my plays are just keeping on going up, really. I'm really happy with where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's a good spot to be in. And I feel like there's a long period of time that goes unspoken with a lot of artists, is that beginning stage where we're making music. Maybe we weren't as consistent or something, but there's this long period of time where kind of a lot of our work goes unnoticed, and it's far and few between where we get the interaction that we do now. And a lot of people watching may still be at that point. You know what I'm saying? What would you say is the catalyst, or what was the biggest change from that beginning point to right now?
Well, I think before, I was putting out music every month or less. I wasn't doing it half as much as I'm doing now. I drop pretty consistently now, I like to think. But I was less consistent. I sort of had I was experimenting. I was making it mainly for myself. So obviously, I was busy with school and stuff, and music outside of SoundCloud. So I was just experimenting, seeing what I could do. But then when I started mixing songs for people, I was sort of obligated to, hurry up, actually try and really put some effort into other people's work, because that's what they wanted to do, and I was trying to tap into their vision as well. So I started sort of I made a lot more in the summer of 2021. I was mixing a lot more, and therefore I was spending more time on FL, getting better at making my own songs. And then in around August I had a song called Fields of Elysia that did really well. I was nobody at the time, and it hit it hit 1K real fast, sort of a week sort of thing. So and for me at that time, that was really big. So that was sort of the song that really got me to a lot of listeners where I am now, and it's still one of my biggest songs. And I think that's the catalyst. But just in terms of style and stylistics, definitely meeting these people, mixing the songs was definitely a thing that really started me off in terms of really getting me noticed, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and I definitely relate to that. Yeah, because before we started recording and stuff, we talked about how like getting in contact with the collectives and the whole demographic. It opens up your sphere once you like put your foot in the door, so to speak. So yeah, and from those experiences, and now that you're getting the plays and stuff, people are gonna start looking at you as one of the people like to try and be like. Eventually, we know success is in your future. There's gonna be old oceans type beats and stuff. What would you say to somebody just starting out?
Well, what I would say with someone just starting out is that you're there's a saying that it takes your whole life. You have your whole life to drop your first album, and you have 8 months to drop your second album. And what that means is that you can take in this beginning stage is very important. You can just take as long as you want to just like refine your stuff. Like there's honestly no rush. Like kids are blowing up on here at like 12 or 13, and I think people are like kind of rushing it and trying to be like them in a way. But like you just gotta let it like come naturally and just like just let it come naturally. Just experiment, see what sound works for you. Then start consistently dropping in that style if you're really serious about it. And never stop dropping songs. Like whatever you've got, just drop it. Like no one's gonna wait for you when you're at that stage. Just like drop the songs. People will find it. The algorithm will put it out there, and it's much better than just keeping shit in the vault. Like you want to be putting stuff out like fetty regularly to gain that fan base. But yeah, those are probably my 2 pieces of advice for someone who is just like a complete beginner in this.
Yeah, that's real stuff. I've met a lot of people on my journey who, especially in real life, where they had a lot of music, they wanted to get into music, and they had some, songs on their phone, but they were always afraid to drop it. They were always like either afraid of the criticism or that it just wasn't good enough for themselves. Which I guess that last part is valid. So this leads me into my next question. You know what I'm saying? Is anybody in your area, on the same stuff that you're on? Anybody at your school? You just locally,
Oh, bro, nah. I'm in like an area of the UK where like nothing much is going on. So like, no one like in my city, in my town, like anywhere near my area knows anything about like even the like big names in the scene. They don't really know. So like, I'm definitely the only person doing it like around my general area. In London though, there are a couple people in the UK like there are a couple people in the scene in like places like Scotland, and in London I've got my bro Gomi. I don't know if you know him. He's fairly big right now. Yeah, he's probably the closest that I've got. Like he's a while away, but still he's relatively close. So yeah, he's the closest. But like everyone I talk to at school, like listening to my music, they have no idea. Like they call it like noise and shit. Like it's just noise.
Wow.
Which is like yeah. So I think that just being like from here, like there's literally no one else. Like no one. So I'm just like free to like do whatever I want, basically, and put where I am on the map, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like because in your area, the local place, it's like because people aren't on what you on, or they're just behind, that you don't like get the proper support an artist should?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like the US. Like, there's no show set up around here at all. Like, there's no way that I get no like in real life support. Like, it's basically all on here. Like, I'd love to like contact like venues and stuff, but yeah, there's no chance that's going to happen anytime soon. And it's like, I mean, if I go to London, then it's more likely. But at the same time, like, there's nothing really happening here in terms of the scene. So I've just got to keep going, I guess. But I mean, I play the piano and I play like live music, and that's like fairly popular around here, so I can do that, and that's fine. But yeah, in terms of what I make on here, there's no way that I can get to all these songs interesting.
I see.
Yeah, I'd love to have the in real life support, but it's whatever. I'm happy with what it is.
Yeah, Yeah, and because I can relate to that, and I can definitely testify that, like, because I live in like a pretty rural area in Northern Virginia, and there's a lot of stuff, you know, like there's cities near me and stuff, like DC and stuff is only like 30 minutes away, and it's like, you know, there's stuff going on there, but it's like where I'm at, you know, there's not even a real spot for young people, you know, to begin with. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is like car meets, you know what I'm saying? But not everybody has a cool car, you know? So, yeah. And that's one thing that I've been thinking about, and I used to think about quite a bit, where, you know, I definitely think that there's lots of young people, talented people across the whole world who just, because of their area, feel like that they don't have a platform to, you know, be supported or just like relate to, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure. I've noticed that this scene is really, really global. Like, anyone can really hop on it because of like how online like focused it is, but yeah, at the same time, like, you can make it with whatever. You can make it with like just your phone. Like, if you know how to mix, it's like you can make anything sound good. You can make anything in style. But honestly, it's just about connections. If you're in like a random area, it's just going to be harder for you, like, natural. Like, yeah, if you live in like a rural area, like I don't know, like say South America or something, then you're obviously not going to get the same connections. You're not going to get the same like amount of exposure as if you live in like somewhere like LA or New York. So yeah, that's just how it goes. But yeah, I hope that more people that live in, you know, like areas that are kind of overlooked in a way get recognised, because they've got a lot of talent too. They've got definitely just as much talent as the people that come out of these big cities that are getting more recognition.
yeah, all right, that's cool. That was pretty cool right there. So, is there anything, a message, you know, something that you want people to derive from your music, a message for your audience?
Oh shit! Well, I don't know. I put a lot of messages in my music, whether they be subliminal or explicit. Like, I guess I just want everyone to enjoy it. I want everyone to listen to it with an open mind. I just want to show people that, you know, that music is an expression of myself, as like an extension of what I am, and, you know, all my feelings, all my thoughts just get put into that. And whatever music I'm making, be it like SoundCloud songs or whatever else I might be doing at this time, like I'm always going to put like my own personal experiences into it, like whatever I'm doing. And yeah, I try and convey that through my lyrics and the emotion that I put in my song. I try not to make it too explicit. Like, I want people to like primarily I want my music to be up for interpretation. Like, I want you to like take your own message from it. Like, I don't want to be giving you a message to like shove down your throats. I want you to like take my music and use it and mold it to your own life. Like, for me, I just want people to, you know, be happy when I listen to it, and feel emotion when you're listening to it. Just like have a good time, enjoy the music, have an open mind. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, that's definitely just for you to interpret yourself.
Yeah, I think that, you know, you can't get more artistic than that, because art is one of these things that, you know, is depending on what it is, it has the ability to be extremely timeless. Like, I feel, what if, this is a hypothetical, what if, you know, this is the type of stuff that gets put in the textbooks, you know, like movements, like the hippie movement or whatever. Somebody's gonna take a college class on, you know, the SoundCloud era of music, or like it'll have its own unit in music appreciation or something like that. You know what I'm saying? In the future. Yeah. So that's something to think about, because people will hear your music and try to apply it their own lives, you know, regardless of, you know, that's just how people listen to music, is they internalize it. So I think that's a very good, you know, aspiration to have for your message.
Yeah, exactly. I just want people to, you know, yeah, just take your own message from it. If my music can, you know, like at least like help one person, or just like provide some, just like a peaceful space, or just like help people to think about their own lives, what they're doing, self-improvement, all that, and like just enjoy it as well. Like music is there to be enjoyed and to be listened to. Like, so if I can make someone's day with my music, then that's all I'm really aiming to do.
Awesome. All right. So next question, simple question. What's your favorite color?
Oh, my favorite color is purple. I'd say, yeah, purple. Cool color.
Yep, it is a cool color. All right. And what would you say, your role models are? Somebody you draw a lot of inspiration and an influence from. Not necessarily with music. It can be music, but where would you say is some huge or big sources of some of your inspiration and stuff?
Oh well, I'll start with music. I think I love first and foremost, I love jazz music. I've always been a fan of jazz music, and I play it myself on the piano. So I've always been a fan of those jazz musicians who just like, because they were the first ones to really break out of the mold of classical music and just like do their own thing, improvise that, all that. So like they're like the original pioneers, creators. So I'm always going to pay respect to them. I'm always going to take a lot from what they have to say, what they're doing, what they're saying in their music. More recently, I think I've got a lot of influences. I've got a lot of role models. There's a UK musician by the name of Bodeine who does a lot of like sort of like alternative pop type stuff. Who's he can't really be put in a box, but I just really like the way that he plays with sound, and he just like makes music his own. Just like whatever he wants to do, he's going to do it. And it's something that I obviously the legends of the underground that people like often cite today, like obviously Space Good Perp, Black Crate, all these people, like they're obviously big inspirations for me. I love their music, otherwise I would be doing this right now. So a big shout out to them, big shout out to and everyone I make music with right now, like they just like inspire me a lot, like just seeing them do the same thing I do and just like progress at the same time I'm progressing is just fantastic to see. As for other inspirations, just the people in my like close circle of family and friends that I really just like, that I really take a lot of inspiration from, like in the way that they live their lives, and I admire that, and I'm lucky to share my personal experience with them. And I'm gonna sound corny right now, but my girlfriend is an artist, and I really take a lot of inspiration from her and her art. Like, I look at it and I feel a lot of emotion, but like I don't feel somewhere else, and I can put that into my music and just like improve that, like just like intensify that experience of listening. And yeah, just like my girl overall and how she is. Yeah, that's pretty much everything, I think. Like yeah, that's all the ones I can think of off the top.
All right, yeah, that's all. Those are valid. I think what makes the last inspiration, your girlfriend, nuanced is the fact that she's an artist.
Yeah,
I've never been in a relationship with a girl that's like who consider herself like a artist, or that like, I don't know, like who just take that stuff seriously. So that's very cool that you got that going on.
Yeah.
One thing I have to say though, because I used to play alto saxophone in high school, right? And I was good at it. I was good at it in my area, my district, and like the whole state pretty much. That instrument is pretty competitive, so a lot of the stuff that goes on here is like you have to. It's what I'm trying to say is I think that you made a very interesting point about how jazz musicians were one of the first people to really do it. And I think, to do it, so to speak, is to break the rules, and that's one of the things that I feel like people start to forget about music because they get so caught up in the, the day-to-day, like, grind of promotion. And we'll get to that later in the interview. But, like, a lot of the best music is made new genres is made from breaking the rules, doing stuff that you're not supposed to do. And one of the things that I like so much about music, and especially like this era, is that there's so many ways to do one thing. You know, there's all types of plugins to like mix something, and they all have unique little things about them that makes them sound different. You know, and it's all about all these different types of things and methods you can do will get you like that same emotion or whatever thing you're looking for, or you might invent something new. So I think, you know, that's a very good point you made about that, because I always thought like music, I'm being long-winded, I always thought music has an anthropology, like it all comes from somewhere, and it all has like a growth, right? Like classical music to jazz music to like rock and roll, and then it splits off into like disco music, soft rock and stuff like that, and then R&B, and then the disco stuff will get like, it turns into like the early forms of like rap music with like DJs and stuff, like looping drums, and then that turns into what we're doing now, which is totally crazy. But that's how I think about it. But yeah,
you're right. Yeah, like you said, like for a jazz musician, there's 1,000 different ways to play a tune, and just like right now, there's 1,000 different ways to make a song. There's 1,000 different things that a guy's going to do when he hops on like a beat or something. There's so many different ways for people to exploit the plugins, exploit the doors that we're using. So yeah, exactly. That's why I use that comparison, just to clear things up.
Dope. All right. So, back to the music. What would you say is your own favorite song that you have out right now?
My own, definitely my most recent song, "Things Don't Die Yet." That's definitely my favorite now, and I like my most recent songs being my favorite because, you know, it means that I'm doing the right thing, I'm going somewhere, I'm progressing, for me as well as for my fan base. And yeah, I don't know, I love that song because, you know, there's a lot of emotion in the lyrics. It's the first song where I really put the lyrics out of description. I really thought about the lyrics, I really wrote them. I really put thought into them in a way that I hadn't really done before. And I just wanted to explore that sort of like poetic side of what I can do with music, and also just like the way I was experimenting with different type of beats and how I was transitioning between them. Because like that's a 5-minute song, it's got like 3-4 different beats in it. So yeah, just the way that I was able to manipulate that whole idea and make it sort of sound cohesive, because that's something I've struggled with in the past, and I think that song sounds fairly like cohesive. So yeah, that's definitely the one that I'm most proud of right now.
I definitely resonate with that, because like, you know, I always try to improve in some way whenever I make new music or whatever. Try to like get better at something. So when you put that type of love and care and craftsmanship into making a song, you can definitely feel it. Dope. So my next question is, you know, we know success is in your future. We can hear it in the way you talk, the passion. You know what I'm saying? So what would you say when you get paid for the first time, that first big check, what are you going to do with it?
What am I going to do with it? Oh, well, I think to mark the first SoundCloud check, the first whatever check, I'm definitely gonna spend on actual music equipment. Because I'll tell you a secret that I haven't spent a single penny on music like the entire time I've done it. Like the only time I've ever done it is to pay people for beats or features or stuff. Like I use on my computer I have Cracked FL Studio and I have Trial FL Studio, and I only use stock plugins really, so that's all I need personally. I record I record on my phone mic off BandLab using BandLab Autotune, and I mix the vocals in FL, and I make beats in FL, like with songs and stuff, and obviously with drum kits. So yeah, once I got that checked, then I'll definitely spend it on some music equipment. Not that I really need it right now, but just like as a sign that I'm gonna get more serious about it if I'm starting getting paid. You know, because like, and obviously I think also something I'm gonna do is save it up for my future, for definitely for when I go to college, because I'm going to music college and that costs quite a lot, so I want to make sure I'm ready for that. I'm not going to get in too much debt, so it's definitely going to go to that and to my future and to whatever I decide to do in the future. I always want to have shit saved up, so yeah, a lot of it's going to go to that as well. Just like, yeah, definitely my two plans.
I see. Yeah, reinvesting in yourself is always the move. So you really can't go wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
You know, that's good that you think that. And also the inverse. You know, what are you gonna do if rap doesn't work out in some way?
I'm honestly not very worried, because I already have another career planned out that I'm looking to do instead. I'm going into to music composition on a different level. Like, I'm going to college to study jazz, but also to study composition. So what I'm probably going to do is like sort of study that sort of side of making music for films, making music for games, like game soundtracks, making music for myself, and making music for like symphony orchestras, bands to play, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do already. Like, that's what's in my future. I see that. Rap, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I honestly don't mind. I'll just make this shit because it's fun and I love doing it. And yeah, I just want to explore myself musically as much as possible. This is just another outlet for that. Yeah, it's incredibly fun. There's so many like really, really cool people who do this. So I'm definitely not going to stop anytime soon. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep dropping the music. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and I won't stress over it. That's just how it was meant to be.
I see. Yeah, it's a good position to have on it. You know, to do it out of love and, you know, not out of fear of like things not working out and stuff like that. It's important that people have a healthy relationship with the stuff that they do. And, you know, you mentioned this, you know, music and movies and stuff like that. Bro, yo, I watched a movie about like 2 nights ago called Good Time, and it has Robert Pattinson in it. And it's basically about this guy, right? He robs a bank in the beginning of in the movie with his brother, and his brother's is mentally impaired or whatever, and he basically is exploiting people the whole movie to just like get out of his own shit. But the soundtrack, right, is so good. I was the whole time I was like, dude, whoever made this, however it was made, I need this stuff. Because it was just it was very good, and stuff like that sticks with people too. And that's one of the things that I like to ask people is like inspirations outside of music, because it could just be as simple as an aesthetic. Like, one thing that I feel like a lot of people you know, draw from is anime, because of the, you know, the imagery, the messages, and like you see it all over, you know, for people's cover art and stuff. And that's one of those, you know, big time influences that we see a lot. So that's cool that you want to get into stuff like that with, you know, music. That's awesome.
Yeah, I see that sort of anime influence. Like, personally, like, I've not watched too much anime at all. Like, I wouldn't call myself that much of a fan. I like, I'm into sort of like some of the aesthetics of the scene, but I always want to, you know, take it out and make it myself. Like, I include a lot of like traditionally UK aesthetics, like stuff from my country. Like, my song White Label Classic, that has a beat that's like been used by like most UK rappers. Like, it's really big, and if you're from the UK, you know it. If you're not, you probably don't. So, you know, that sort of thing. And just like that sort of like more niche aesthetics, like I guess sort of like 19th century sort of French impressionist paintings, that sort of vibe. Like, I love the music from that era, and I love like how they dressed, like the really elaborate clothing is really great. So I use like some of those more different and, you know, out there aesthetics for my music personally, and how I want to present myself as well. Because, you know, being an artist is as much about the brand as much about who you are as a person. is about the music, and I know that, so I like just like creating my fetty. It's quite fun. It's almost as fun as the music sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. One thing that I need to start implementing more is my aesthetic. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it, but like I understand what you're saying with like the older centuries clothing. Like me, I really like Venetian masks. Like,
yeah,
you know what those are?
Yeah.
Dude, to me they're just awesome. But yeah. Let's see. Okay. And this next question is super general. But how do you feel about the underground community and where it's at right now?
I'm fairly like I don't interact with the community as much as I used to, as much as I do that much. I mean, I'm still very much involved in it, but I keep to myself and my friends. Like, just like I feel like a lot of it is nice, but like for me, there are way too many like trolls and people that are just there to like fuck up people's day. Like the amount of songs that get botted on SoundCloud, the amount of like people like beefing over like nothing at all, like nothing. Like it's a little bit toxic for me, and I kind of just want to distance myself from that. But I think it's a place with a lot of cool people. It's a place with a lot of people that have a lot of really good ideas, and they're ready to showcase their ideas on a bigger scale, if you get me. So yeah, that's how I feel about the underground right now. Like I'd say definitely like just like the things, just like how I want to present myself. Like sometimes I want to be a bit more feminine, you know, like not entirely like feel too trapped by masculinity, and I want to express myself. And sometimes when I want to express myself in that, like however that may be on social media or in real life or something, a lot of times I've done it in the underground community. They don't like it at all. Like I've got a lot of bad feedback from it, but a lot of positive too, and it sort of shows that like people in the underground can be like really, really nice. And I got like some of my favourite artists, you know, just like fucking with what I do, like how I present myself, and that's something really rewarding to me. So that's always going to give me hope that like there are a lot more good people than in the scene there are like bad people, like bad intentions or whatever bad people is, like just like trolls or whatever. But yeah, I'd say I'm happy with where it's at in terms of like the music and experimentation. I think it could get a bit better with how we treat each other, but that's whatever, you know, like that's always going to be the case with the scene, like young people on the internet, you know. So yeah, it's whatever. I'm happy to be a part of it, definitely.
Yeah, listen, I think that a lot of people getting into the underground and just like I feel like a lot of people should have the perspective that you have, because it allows you to focus on the music more, and it's a much more sincere experience, you know, that you have.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like this is a thought that I used to toy with a lot, and I still do, is I like to treat my music almost like it's a living person, like it's somebody I can talk to, express myself with, and you know, the stuff that I get back is, you know, the finished product, and you know, it's like the thing that's always gonna listen to you when you make it, right? And I feel like a lot of people they get so caught up with the ego side of things that they forget to develop, you know, their own original stuff. And the good thing about your perspective is that that right there, you know, if there was a formula to be original, you got it, like right there, because it's about just being yourself, surrounding yourself with the right people, and liking what you like without, you know, liking what you like unapologetically. And I feel like a lot of people, when they try and promote themselves on Instagram or do what the next man is doing, they just get caught up, you know. That's the easiest way to say it. And I feel like we see a lot of this type of stuff on TikTok. And I brought this up in an interview, and I had a really good build with somebody about it. and I would like to know how you feel about it. But I feel like TikTok, because of how fast it is, how prevalent it is, it's taken the soul out of, you know, certain parts of music. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree with you to a point. Yeah, I think that TikTok is definitely, you know, like the way that it compresses songs into little clips, and that you just come for the aesthetic, you come for that moments, and a lot of these kids that come for the song, they don't want to investigate like who the artist is, like they don't want to see any of this other work. Like one of my friends like had sort of like, he was making loads of stuff, and he had just like a remix of like a stupid TikTok song, and that sort of blew up on TikTok, so he got like 70k from it or whatever. And loads of people were coming for that, like, but he's still got like next to nothing on his other song. That just shows you like these kids don't really like, they like, it's cool to have like a certain like clip of the song that goes viral and everyone's fine. I just like hope that it would like draw more attention to these people, and like make them blow up, truly like give them a sort of a more consistent. And I think that, yeah, in a way it is ruining the experience of music and listening to it. But I think that also there's always going to be a core, like music is such a popular thing, there's always going to be people, so many people enthusiastic about it, and in my view, and just like really want to get into it, and you know, sort of find their favourite artists, go on a rabbit hole, whatever they want to do. And so yeah, I think that it's not great, but it's not the biggest problem in my eyes.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, it's TikTok does just enough good for it to outweigh the bad that it does. And I feel like a lot of the so-called bad that it does is just an attitude that we have about, I guess, popular music, because people, I guess, I'm not trying to get super technical. I want to make it simple, but an easy way I can say it is that the way that people treat it, it'll almost turn into a commodity, right? Where
exactly, yeah,
it's just something to be consumed, but not anything to be meditated upon, you know. And like music, like your music, right? You put in the craftsmanship, you know, and people, you know, your fans are gonna watch the interview, right? And then that's like that good way of doing it, because it's super organic, right? And then like somebody who comes from TikTok, right? And this is why people who come from TikTok get made fun of or whatever, is because they don't have that same level of connection to your music. Although it's good that artists get exposure, you know, but I feel like a small reason that people gatekeep artists as well is for this same reason, because they don't want people to treat it insincerely. And like I can testify as this as well, where I was on the bus coming home from school, right? And there's this girl showing me her music, and I was like, oh, this is that TikTok music, right? And I really wasn't on TikTok like that at the time, and it denied me, you know, the experience of like just being able to say that this is good music. And it was good music, you know what I'm saying? But because I have seen it on TikTok, I gave it a certain level of almost like disgust, you know?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it depends. I mean, I'd say that like what you were saying earlier, like some artists, like for example, take High C, like he already gets like a large amount of like plays just off of the fans, just like organically being aware of his music, and like, you know, how much craft he puts into that stuff. But at the same time, he sees that people are gatekeeping him. He gets mad in his stories like, you guys don't want me to blow up or something. And you know, like, I think that sort of mindset of gatekeeping, I mean, it can be, I understand why people do it, but at the same time, like, sometimes I just wonder whether it's really that deep, and that, you know, people might blow up, people might not blow up on TikTok, you know, but if they do blow up on TikTok, I know that a lot of High C's fans are not going to leave him and deride him as a TikTok artist, because they already know him from that craftsmanship. So I think that if you're already an established artist, like, TikTok doesn't really. I mean, of course, it's going to get your 12-year-old listeners that, you know, treat it like a commodity and just like want to make stupid videos to it. But there's your fan base, your core fan base of people that fuck with your music are still going to be there, and it's probably going to increase because of the exposure your music's getting. So yeah, I think it depends where you're at in your development as an artist as to whether TikTok can be a help or a hindrance. But yeah, I can see why people do that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's just something that I like to get people's opinion on. So this is the part of the interview where if you have any special messages, any special shout outs, anything you want to talk about, now's the time to say it.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna, shout out all my friends, that do music, like everyone that's helped me, everyone that's collaborated with me, everyone that's, supported me, all the people that listen to my music, that I'm grateful for that I actually have some sort of semblance of a fan base, That's very special to me. And yeah, just shout out BPG, shout out REP, shout out TG6Z, shout out all those people, all those groups I'm affiliated with that are made up really of my close friends. That's the main reason. I mean, just because these guys are my close friends, they're always going to be. I'm meant to do music, but I know on a personal level, and I'm really grateful for that. And they're making the same music, and they're really on the way up right now. We're on the way up right now, so go check us out, honestly. And yeah, just shout out to anyone that I've met through this. Shout out to anyone that's given me inspiration, that whole thing. Just also want to say that that I'm really grateful to the people that are bigger in the scene, maybe for like coming and fucking with me and enjoying what I do, playing my music, interacting with my posts on social media, or just like putting me on to someone like whatever. Like I have some really, really big collabs coming with some people, some of my favourite artists, so I'm really, really grateful for that. And yeah, just shout out to all those things. I just want to say that people that listen to my music, I'm just grateful that you're here, basically. Like this is just one facet of my musicality and my music expression, but the way that it's so well received, and that I'm fairly established now as a person that makes music. And I'm going to continue to be, growing every day. It's just something that's very special. And I'm just going to continue to make stuff, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys still like it. However many styles I change back and forth from, I'm always going to still be making music that's authentically myself. I'm never going to sell out anything. Just want to make the music that makes me the happiest, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for. Not doing any shit for money or anything. Just want to be myself and express that through my music. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. And thank you for giving me this interview. It was nice to talk about stuff, because I haven't done one of these in a while. So yeah, I appreciate you too.
Hey, yeah, wait, thank you for coming on and stuff. Something that I've always felt like myself is that a lot of artists, they don't get to talk about the good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, the questions that I'm asking is the stuff that matters, and I feel like that's not talked enough about, at least. So, yeah. Thank you for coming on. Don't sleep on my guy, Old Oceans. He's coming out hard. He's breaking boundaries, doing things new, and like I said, he's breaking the rules. All right. So this has been another Soldi broadcast, straight to the heart. You know what I'm saying? When we get down to the nitty gritty of it, okay, but I am asking the questions that matters, okay? Because a lot of people out here on this BS, you know what I'm saying? It's not Soldi, it's not gang, all right? And my guy, Old Oceans, he's about the craft, about the art. We see he's a musician, jazz, at the base of it. That's where it all comes from, you know what I'm saying? And that's tough, okay? Don't sleep with my boy, you know what I'm saying? You see the information, okay? But if you want to know about me, you know what I'm saying? Link in the description below. All right, listen. It's been insanely silent, Soldi, man. And I'm out.
Soldi. Nigga that you think you found sex. I know you still think about the times we had. Ho, ho, ho. I'm just saying you could do better. Yeah, baby. Tell me, have you heard that lately? Have you? It's Drake.